was absolutely gruesome. It was absolutely great. Your imagination is just, I'm always amazed at the stuff you come up with. And you have a wonderful way with words, of course. No, Catherine Ronan. Catherine, you're next.
Hi lads, very glad.
Oops. Catherine?
You're muted.
Zoom baby, what can I say? It's great to be here. Thanks Margaret for inviting me. I love Halloween and I'm going to read my poem called Halloween Descends. Halloween descends. Twigs and branches intertwined, patterned and gnarled bed. Silent with small snap, crepuscular fingers stroke with light until they stretch, moan and groan towards their lunar friend. A cacophony of cracking desire, withered but rising in quivering magnificence, overture to fallen leaves everywhere, whispers of the dead whistling life into the damp carpet of long-veined has-beens. The Styx mist descends, ferrying spirited souls, raucous and heady abandonment, take the leaves to dance with wild and unfettered rustle. They rise as debutantes, race through the gates with childlike chatter, cackle as they flurry in hundreds towards the moonlit stage. Take me to the thousand dance, take me to the thousand dance. A whispering symphony restarts the first and last note of Halloween. Can you hear it?
Thanks, Catherine. That was wonderful. Your love of Halloween definitely shines through that one.
Thank you, Margaret. Thanks, everyone.
Sue, you're muted.
Is it my turn?
It is indeed.
Okay, I hadn't heard the command yet. Thank you very much for having me here. You know, it's great to be able to do this from the home because otherwise I couldn't have made it tonight. We also had our first choir session on Zoom today.
Oh, nice.
It all worked out nicely, and I'm honored to be in the company of great storytellers. I mean, I'm like missing the fire in the middle of us. Let this screen be the fire. And I've enjoyed like particularly Maria's performance. Maria, you are so great with using the screen for camera. Yeah, it's its own skill when you can present with the whole body. So I am honored tonight to use this opportunity to do two things here. As in one piece of poetry I would like to present by a writer who is the name giver to my mother and the main poet of my hometown, Annette von Droste-Hülshoff, in Münster in Germany. She lived from 1797 to 1848, and her poetry would be of the normal kind of literary canon taught in schools, and would have been several generations ago as well, when it was very much part of school that you had to memorize poetry, and my grandmother did so. it was interesting because I came along when she was 70, you know, in her 70s, and she died when she was 75, and she was every so often coming into the kitchen and performing a piece of poetry for us from, it could be Annette van Drost-Hulshoff, it could have been other poets, and usually these poems are storytelling poems, and this one was one of her favorite poems, and there was even some like little quotes that went into like our family lore as just comments, like unheimlich nicket die Föhre. I'll come to it. I would like to present this poem in German first, and then present you with my translation, which I worked on over the lockdown. And this is poetry written to form. So it's about recreating not only the fabric of the story, but also the rhythm and the rhyme of it. So I don't know if anyone here understands German. It would obviously be lovely to at least have someone in the round who does, but if not, I'm going to try and give my best vocal performance of this poem that I can, and I'll take my time for it so that it won't be too rushed. Okay, so I'll give you the title in English first, because so you have an orientation what the poem is about. The poem is called The Boy in the Bog. Der Knabe im Moor. Oh, schaurig ist's, übers Moor zu gehen, wenn es wimmelt vom Heiderauche, sich wie Phantome die Dünste drehen und die Ranke häkelt am Strauche. Unter jedem Tritte ein Quellchen springt, wenn aus der Spalte es zischt und singt. Oh, schaurig ist's, übers Moor zu gehen, wenn das Röhricht knistert im Hauche. Fest hält die Fibel das zitternde Kind und rennt, als ob man es jage. Hohl über die Fläche sauset der Wind. Was raschelt da drüben am Hagen? Das ist der gespenstische Gräberknecht, der dem Meister die besten Dorfe verzecht. Huhu, es bricht wie ein irres Rind, hinducket das Knäbelein zage. Vom Ufer starret gestumpft hervor, unheimlich nicket die Föhre. Der Knabe rennt, gespannt das Ohr, durch Riesenhalme wie Speere. Und wie es rieselt und knittert darin, das ist die unselige Spinnerin. Das ist die gebannte Spinnenlohr, die den Haspel dreht im Geröhre. Voran, voran, nur immer im Lauf, voran, als woll es ihn holen. Vor seinem Fuße brodelt es auf, es pfeift ihm unter den Sohlen. Wie eine gespenstige Melodei, das ist der Geigemann ungetreu. Der diebische Fiedler Knauf, der den Hochzeitsheller gestohlen. Da birst das Moor, ein Seufzer geht hervor aus der klaffenden Höhle. Weh, weh, da ruft die verdammte Margaret, hoho, meine arme Seele. Der Knabe springt wie ein wundes Reh, wär nicht ein Schutzengel in seiner Nähe. Seine bleichenden Knöchelchen fände spät ein Gräber im Moorgeschwel. Da mählich gründet der Boden sich und drüben neben der Weide. Die Lampe flimmert so heimatlich, der Knabe steht an der Scheide. Tief atmet er auf, zum Moor zurück. Noch immer wirft er den scheuen Blick. Ja, im Geröhre war's fürchterlich. Oh, schaurig war's in der Heide. Thanks very much. My grandmother is looking down, and she's actually right here with me. I can feel her. So here's my translation. You can also find it online. I'll have to post the link later. So The Boy in the Bog. Oh, eerie it is to walk through the bog when the fogs arise in the heathers. Like phantoms twirls the swirling mist, and the climbers strangle the hedges. Beneath each tread wells up a spring. From over the crevice it wheezes and sings. Oh, eerie it is to walk through the bog when the reeds rustle in the winds. To his primer clings the shivering child, rushing as though he was hounded. The wind sweeps hollow across the land. What's swishing there by the enclosure? That is the ghostly gravedigger's hand, who wastes the master's best turf on drink. Who, like a panicked heifer astray, the boy dodges and dashes away. From water's edge the tree stumps stare, sinister wavers the cedar. The lad runs fast, he strains his ear through rushes like giant spearheads. And how it trickles and crackles within, that is the unhallowed weaver, that is the spellbound spinning Lenore, wheeling her reel in the reel beds. Ahead, ahead, in his fastest speed, ahead like it's coming to seize him. Under his foot the ground stirs and boils, his soul unleashes a squealing. Like a spooky harrowing melody, that is the perfidious violin guy, that is the haunted fiddler Knauf, who's stolen the wedding dowry. Then bursts the mire, a sighing goes from the yawning mouth of the hollow. Woe, woe, the cursed Margaret calls, hoo, my poor doomed soul. The boy bolts away like a wounded deer, were it not for his guardian angels there. A lonely turf cutter might find in years his faded bones in the smouldering peat. Ah, slowly now the sod firms up, and over there by the meadow, the flickering light shines just like home. The boy has reached the threshold. He takes a deep breath, turns back to the bog, continues casting his anxious look. Yes, it was frightening in the reeds. Oh, eerie it was in the heathers. Thanks very much.
This is mighty. Well done, Sue.
Superb, Sue, as always. Do you want to say anything about the course you've just finished? Because it is connected with what you just did.
It's kind of connected. I'm finally doing what I should have done years ago before I studied the arts. I remember putting my thesis in and standing in the library, returning the books and going, shit, why didn't I study translation? Because I would have had plenty jobs. And now I'm not studying translation, I'm studying interpreting, as in I've just finished, I've just had my deadline. Interpreting is the live form of translation. So translation officially is just on the page, like word to word on the page. So you have all the time, you sit behind the screens, more like editing. Whilst interpreting is you're sitting with other people who need your language assistance to understand the situation. In Ireland, it's even a public right, a public service, therefore, because it is about access, equal access to public services, and so it's all in the public service context. So it had nothing to do with poetry whatsoever, but it had everything to do with constant translating and rebuilding, like a dictionary in my head again, that I hadn't been using for quite a while, and building it up, as well as in making translations for like laws and, you know, social welfare kind of like schemes. And oh my God, it's very yeah, you kind of make it glossary, and then you have that as a working tool. So I'm looking forward to start using those eventually. Working to that. Thanks for giving me that opportunity.
Thanks, Sue. Mags, you're next on the list, Mags Creedon.
Okay. Can you can hear me okay?
Perfect. Oh, you're muted now again. Yeah, that's it.
Right. I don't know what I did the last time I was with Eve. I might have done that one. He done a mantle of oblivion. I probably did that with all of you before for Ovale. So I'll do the little sound one there. Just short little improv we did for our last writing exercise. The call is wrapped tight tonight. Garnish graves await. Flowers for the court, for they walk amongst us tonight. Shorten the night, halo the moon. Mist the webs of mist, of wisps and Mars sit to the eastern twilight. Guising go in snapping nocturnal glow. Bonfires of bones, cabbage stump the doors. Mumming go, pagan rites bring cattle down from autumn pastures to meet the knife. Once you were sad at the solstice turn, each 4 minutes shrunk, the days of darkness turn, and we met at the standing stones and Drumbeg. We young artists broke bread and cheese and fed the watchers in blankets, blanket robes in the drizzling breeze. Sketched the transient, drops washed our ink and blurred the fine lines of time for once when you were yours and I was mine. The veil is thin, as they say tonight. I sense you near in the shady opal light, and the sound of your warlock whispers still here. Okay. So I think I'll leave it at that because I think I've done the other song before.
Do you want to do it again?
You never know, but in the groups, because I'd say most people. All right, so it's kind of a bit of a spooky one. We did on invisibility.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking. Yeah, it would be suitable.
Maybe it would be. I don't know. I don't want to bore people. Okay, the invisible. He dons a mantle of oblivion so that no one sees the state he's in. Drops his eyes, won't engage, stops him reading from his page. Just change the color of your skin, morph just like a chameleon. Blend into the foliage, sink into your camouflage. Let secret messages encrypt you. Encoded smoke signals cloak you. Like an aging woman, they look right through you, back to themselves, Like a cat at night steals right to you, slick and black, he'll sneak right past you. Click the latch, he's in there, leaves you wondering just where, blind, invisible, and here. Like a child who keeps his eyes right down, duty bound, won't look around. Silent he stays, transparent and pale, make sure not to be found. Go to that land of the disappeared, where they stow away all their hidden fears. Deep in the ground, where pain cannot be found. Be invisible, my dear. Invisible microscopic tyrants paralyzing time, storing the vulnerable in petri jars, silence the music, a John Cage unwritten rhyme. The songs to which the music was laced, no gold chords to tie up these strings, invisible scores, a solo now to play. But in Abu Dhabi, you were invisible, only a few gulfs away. I feel and see you, nonetheless sense you and think of you each day. An invisible love is mobile, past land boundaries, it knows no borders. It has no time zones and you are in my sight. These air kisses, thoughts will find you. Silent, sublime, invisible, and still mine. Okay. That's the many kinds of invisible.
Mags, that was wonderful.
Thanks. Very improvised poem as well on invisibility for you. I think
neither of them came across like that.
Yeah, But I still didn't change in much. Sue, I work with Sue and I get prompts from Margaret and from Catherine Noonan. I got some grand little bits of material that I can mold.
There's a little writing group hiding among you here.
I think we're working.
Oh my God. And look who's responsible
We're
for
outed.
information. Yes, exactly.
We're very
Brought us
thankful.
in here. You brought us in here, Margaret.
It's just been lovely. It was a casual idea and I've just really enjoyed. It's a very inspirational group of people that I've met. And Sue Lou, you're a great little anchor, honest to God.
Now,
And
the next one I have is Brendan O'Shea.
Hello, you all. It's lovely listening to you. This is a. I better put on glasses but I can see it properly.
like myself.
Yeah. This is one from. I wrote earlier on, dear, and I've included in my a little bit of a book that I released last September. It's called Talking to the Dead. Peter. This one I wrote is fiction, but I suppose, well, we can take it as you find it. Talking to the dead. Time has moved so quickly on, and youth has faded fast. The wild and carefree life we had was never meant to last. The friends we have around us now are here forevermore, for we have turned the corner of life's great open door. We see our ancient ancestors arrayed at dawn of time. Their mighty dreams of progress, their legacy was mine. And we all went and did our share for the ones alive right now to carry on tradition, improve their lives somehow. We speak to friends now old and new, who lived in days of yore, who are glad to have lived the life they had and glad to have gone before, and given birth to an incredible force that paved the way for all. The strong, the good, the mighty, that supports us should we fall. Some may call us angels, they may speak of us with dread, but never fear when we are near, you are talking to the dead. We walk the ancient concourse along the astral plane where humankind dare not traverse and nothing stays the same. We see the great pavilion surrounded by crystal streams, where soars what you call angels. They account for every being that inhabits all eternity, the mighty and the weak. We hear the sighs of long lost souls, you see, they cannot speak. In life they were so haughty, they reckon they were grand. So now they'll spend 1,000,000 years in the avenue of the damned. And if you are ever in a lonely place and a chill goes down your spine, and the hairs on the back of your neck rise up, then that's no fault of mine. For the dead will never hurt you or haunt you or drive you mad. They'll help you on your chosen path and you'll be forever glad. And you'll never forget you met us, and you'll remember what we said. You need not fear when we are near, you're talking to the dead. That's one. Oops. Thank you.
Do you have another one, Brendan?
I have another one. The title of the book is Ghosts, and the poem Ghosts that goes with the title, it would have to do with what Fran was talking about earlier on. I had a nephew that was adopted from a Magdalen laundry in 1969, and we found him. But this is called Ghosts. Where are they now, the ones that fought and died, the ones that choose the other side, the ones that stayed and worked the land, the ones that cried, the ones that loved and left for fear of heavy hands and backward minds, for fear of God and hell, for fear of the loss of those they loved so well. Where are they now? Who are they now? This child for sale, it could be mine in London town in '69. They cared not for grief or consternation, just for a hefty dollar donation into the coffers of Mother Church. And all the saints in their gilded thrones cared not a fig for mothers alone. They put him to work, yet another labour, and at the end, no reward to savour. No joy, no smile, no sympathy, no hug, no love, no empathy. Where are they now? Will they ever be free? Nominate parties, they flee.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
That's lovely, Brendan, that particular one. Have you posted that anywhere in, you know, remembering the June babies or any of those sites, well, apart from your book?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't posted it anywhere. I'm a beginner at all this. I recite at the open mic in Listowel, Shanachie, Listowel writers, and
Oh, do you know
I
Matt
tag along
Money
with
and
him
all
there.
that gang? Behall.
Yes, Matt Money, Sean McGrath.
Do
Sean
you reckon?
McGrath that helped me publish that.
Yeah, I love that gang.
Sorry? They're a mad bunch, but they're nice. But
Yeah.
I learned a lot from them, but I learned a lot from you too. It was lovely listening to you tonight.
Oh, that's really nice.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Now, Maria, is Maria there? So she is. Maria, you have another tale to tell us.
I feel greedy, but I've loads of sound stories because of the last month. So would it be okay to tell you one more?
It would, of course, because normally we go on until about 11, and I notice Mo O'Connor has just joined us, so he'll be coming in after you.